Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Aisha Rosley and today I'm talking about things that I gave up once I became Muslim. Alhamdulillah. So hi guys, yes, there are so many things that happen to us once we revert from whatever it is we revert from. For me it was atheism, so once I reverted from being an atheist to Muslim, yes, there are a lot of things that changed in my life. I had to give up a lot of things. I knew they were wrong, and I already kind of knew they were wrong before I was Muslim, but never really had the bravery to give them up because I just thought it was normal, it was what we were supposed to do, and the way you're brought up, the society you're brought up in affects you a lot, whether you realise it or not. So yes, I was affected by the society I was brought up in, and there were certain things that I did have to give up when I reverted to Islam, and here are those things. So first one, most obvious one, is the way I dress. I had to throw out a lot of clothes from my wardrobe, change my wardrobe to a lot more longer dresses, flowing dresses. Obviously I wear hijab now. I do feel a lot more comfortable, especially going out. I love the material of these dresses and they just flow in the wind. I do feel a lot more comfortable wearing these kind of clothes, even though it's not really acceptable in a lot of Western countries. People don't like it when people wear hijab and stuff, but I feel so much more comfortable covering up than showing stuff, for sure. Secondly is excessive amounts of makeup. I never wore a lot of makeup, but I did have a makeup routine that would take me around half an hour in the mornings, which, you know, is quite a long time to spend on makeup, to be honest. You think about every day that it builds up. So I gave up doing that, and now I wear either no makeup, which is normally how you guys see me, or sometimes like today, I'm just wearing some mascara, just like on my eyes. It literally takes 2 seconds, I'm just like boom, boom, done. So it changes my routine a lot. So that changed for me as well. Also for the fact that my time I use differently now. I cherish my time a lot more, so I'm very efficient in everything that I do, and a half an hour makeup routine is just too long for me. It's wasting too much time. Time is a gift, so I just completely abandoned it. Another obvious one, pubs, clubs and bars. Now, to be honest, I never went to clubs anyway. I just didn't like it. I've always been a very introverted, I don't like social situations with too many people. Anyone who knows me even before I was Muslim would say the same thing, that Aisha, she just doesn't like social situations. She doesn't like lots of people in one room. I just never enjoyed it. So it wasn't a hard one for me to give up. Actually, I'm grateful because now I have a valid excuse when people are like, oh, let's go to the pub. I'm like, sorry, can't. It's just, it gets me out of a lot of situations that I would rather not be in, to be honest. But even in my life, I've probably been to the pub like probably 3 or 4 times before I was Muslim, obviously. So I haven't even really been that many times. Another one, not something that everyone gives up, but something that I gave up, music. So it was a bit of a process. I didn't do it straight away. It was over Ramadan that I stopped listening to music, and then I just carried on, stopped listening to music. And it's helped me so much in just remembering things and learning, and my creativity has flourished since Ramadan. I mean, I started this YouTube channel after Ramadan. Like, I've started doing so many things, like my Arabic course. I started reading. I read 3 books a week now, and I've been doing that for like 3 or 4 months, and I've just been doing so many more things than what I used to do. And I do put it down to the fact that I gave up music as well. Obviously, it's all by Allah's power. Allah's given me these blessings to do these things. Sometimes I listen to nasheeds if I'm washing up, or I listen to podcasts. So yeah, I do think giving up music has helped me. And I know that there's kind of like people disagree on this a little bit between the ummah, whether it's haram or not, because of certain hadiths. And I can't quote those hadiths off the top of my head, nor do I know the authenticity of them. But I do agree with the fact that a lot of music nowadays is bad to listen to. There's a lot of horrible words being used, a lot of horrible images are being created in our heads through the words they're using, and I would avoid that completely, because that's just shaitan, and you're just literally giving shaitan power to take over your mind if you're listening to that kind of music. Another one is following celebrities on like Instagram or Twitter or I mean, I only really use Instagram and Twitter. I sometimes use Facebook, but I hardly go on it anymore. But yeah, like Instagram and Twitter or YouTube or any of those things. I don't follow celebrities anymore. I mean, I guess that's a bit of a lie because I follow like Mufti Menk, who I guess is a celebrity, but it's a different kind of celebrity. I mean, I gave up following like actors and actresses and models and just people who are just famous because they're pretty and all this kind of thing. I don't follow any of these kind of people anymore. And it has definitely changed my mindset for sure. Again, everything I say are things I gave up since I became Muslim. I'm not saying that these are things you have to give up. These are just things that since going on this journey that I've realised are not good for me and that are probably not liked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and are not going to bring me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I've given them up. I'm not saying that you have to give these things up and that you're not Muslim if you do these things. I'm definitely not saying that, just to clear that up. Changing movie choices. I watch a lot more true stories nowadays. We watched Sully recently, about the plane crash in New York. Well, the plane that almost crashed in New York. Yeah, we watch a lot of true stories, which is kind of nice. And I always make sure before I watch a movie, I check Parents Guide on IMDb to make sure that there's no like haram content in there. And yeah, movies can be good. Movies can teach you about different cultures, different types of people, different stories that have happened, especially true stories, which are stories that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made happen in this world on topics that you wouldn't otherwise know about. Like a lot of movies that are tackling racism, they help you realize things that were happening before that you never would have realized, which are awful. And it helps you understand what people went through. Now, I guess you're probably thinking I changed my diet, but actually I didn't, because I have been vegan for the longest time now. Like I've been vegan for ages, like years and years and years and years. So I didn't have to change my diet because everything I eat is halal anyway. And when it comes to things with alcohol, I never had alcohol anyway. I've always been against alcohol. So that's not an issue for me. So yeah, regarding diet, I don't have to look for halal shops or places that do halal food with the halal certificate on it and stuff, because I don't eat animals and I don't eat animal products, and I haven't for the longest time. So I didn't have to change anything there, to be honest, alhamdulillah. Another thing, going to the beauty salon. I used to go and I used to do things like plug my eyebrows and get like eyelash extensions and all this kind of stuff. I don't do any of that anymore. Another one is trying to lose weight all the time. Like I literally probably spent my whole life since I was a teenager just trying to lose weight constantly. I've never been overweight, but I've always been wanting to be skinnier my whole entire life. And I've just stopped. I just, like, it doesn't bother me anymore because I have way more important things to worry about than whether I've got like a little bit of fat on my stomach. And like most girls, I've always been self-conscious about my weight, but I definitely feel like that kind of burden has been lifted off me a lot more since I became Muslim. Another thing I gave up is being scared that things are not going to work and just constantly worrying all the time. I've given that up because I have complete trust in Allah and Allah's plan. And that if things don't work the way I want them to work, then they're going to work better. They're going to always work for the best, because Allah always makes things work for the best for you. So I've just given up worrying about where things are going to go and just focus on the present and focus on achieving stuff right now and worrying if it does well or not. Just if it does well, then that's what Allah wanted for you. If it doesn't do well, then that's what Allah wanted for you. So it's fine. And the last one is thinking that school is boring. I was not good at school. I was a bit of a troublemaker and I hardly even went to school, to be honest. So I didn't have a good perception of school. But now I learn like constantly. Like I spend my whole days learning, and it's one of the best things, the most fun things for me to do. Alhamdulillah, it's amazing. So yeah, since I become Muslim, I really enjoy school now. I'm a school nerd. So yeah, these are some things that I gave up since I became Muslim. I've ultimately become a better person. Well, I hope I have anyway, inshallah I have. But I'm still trying every day to increase that, to try and be better. Like all of us in the Ummah are, we're always trying to do our best, be our best for Allah's sake, being grateful. Just being grateful for what we have. Anyway, alhamdulillah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Alhamdulillah.